evil in human nature.
She wouldn't even vomit now.
Just like I would tell you, if you're going to do something, do it well. And leave something witchy. Leave a sign to let the world know that you were there.
Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Wait, do you have any stories to tell?
I just need to acknowledge
Acknowledge.
that we were super tired last time, and we sounded extremely tired. And we would pause like every 2 seconds, like awkward pauses. And probably what was going on in our minds at the time, it was like, I want to go to bed.
Dude, it was 1 a.m. for me.
I know.
And then the worst part is that we stopped recording and then we kept talking.
I know.
And I was like, I want to go to bed.
I need to go to bed. Yeah, I know. I had just come from work too.
What made me laugh so much is that you were talking, and then in the background, I'm like,
Regularly.
I was just like, oh, wow. Oh, yeah.
That was exactly it.
Yeah, okay. Uh-huh. So that's why I'm like, okay, let's record earlier because I'm not gonna survive it again.
I know. Do you have any stories to
tell? No. Nothing interesting has happened to me. Oh, we have to say, rest in peace, Stan Lee.
Yes.
Thank you for everything. We love you.
We love you so much. And honestly, I can't. It's like it's not real. I feel like he's just been around for such a long time, and we were so used to seeing him in like Marvel movies and stuff that to me, he's not gone. Like I can't believe it that he is gone.
The good thing about him is that he's gonna live forever in Marvel, in movies and his cameos.
Oh, for sure.
And you know what I found out? That he recorded his cameos for Avengers 4. He already did it. So it's gonna be there next year. Yeah. It's gonna be so sad.
I know. But hey.
And he's gonna be in Spider-Man too.
I know that guy. And was it the Amazing Spider-Man, or was it, which one was it that he's it was Peter Parker's graduation. I think it was the second one with Andrew Garfield. And he just comes in and he's like, "Hey, I know that guy."
Oh, I didn't like the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man one, so I don't know.
Really?
Don't kill me.
I love any Spider-Man, to be honest. I grew up with Spider-Man. Batman, and I know that they're not in the same universe, but it was Batman and Spider-Man were my childhood superheroes that I grew up with. And Spider-Man is I watch all of the cartoons, and I even read all the comics because I didn't have access to all the comics. But the cartoons and all the movies, what was the Tobey Maguire movies and all those.
I like Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man better.
Oh, he's great. Yeah.
I love it. The other thing, I don't know if you saw the rumor, because I saw it on Twitter. It wasn't a trending topic, that Juan Gabriel is still alive.
He died? Sorry.
He died last year.
No way. No, he didn't.
Yeah,
well,
he
apparently
did.
He's still alive.
Yeah, he died last year. For those of you who don't know, Juan Gabriel is this big Mexican star.
He was what Prince was to Americans and the rest of the world. He was Prince to South Americans, basically.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, he died, and his ex-manager came out, and he's like, "Oh no, he's not dead. He's I don't know. I don't remember what he was doing, but they said he was gonna come back to the spotlight in December. So that's gonna be fun."
Okay.
But I'm mad because when he died, I was so sad. I grew up with him, so I was so sad.
But you know what? I did too, because my grandma and my mom, it was all about Juan Gabriel. But I had no idea he had passed away, supposedly, because now they're saying that he's gonna come back in December. So even if you were not to tell me this, and he comes back, he makes a comeback in December, like from the grave, I would be like, oh, hey, he just came out with new music.
No, he had died, but I'm mad about it because I was so sad when he died. Like, I cried and stuff. And now he's alive, and that means he's gonna die again.
Someday.
He's gonna die again, so that sucks.
Yeah, it did.
And I'm gonna be sad, like, again.
That's just... Okay, I don't know what to tell you because I had no idea he had died. It actually made me laughing. I mean, rest in peace if he really is dead. If not, I mean, good for him. Because dead is bad.
Yeah. Death, and I remember because...
Dead is bad.
That is bad. That is very bad. People were saying Juan Gabriel is gonna be like Latin America's Elvis.
Oh yeah, I believe that.
Because everybody thinks Elvis is... Well, I used to think Elvis was still alive.
Well, yeah.
So they say like Juan Gabriel is gonna be...
How old would Elvis be right now?
Oh no, I don't know. Like in his 80s?
Yeah, he's probably dead.
No, yeah, he's probably dead, but I mean, like, a few years ago.
I know, people still think.
I kept saying that he was alive.
But I mean, come on, with all those drugs and how fat he was, I mean, rest in peace, Elvis, but he's probably dead. No way he survived that.
Wow.
Let's go into another topic.
Okay, next topic.
Oh, yeah.
What a segue.
Well, another story that I have from last night. I was probably followed. I was telling you this last night through message. But I think a guy was following me from the bus stop to my house, and it was terrifying. But thank God for my... Well, I listen to a lot of horror stories to know better, I think. So I'm aware. Yeah, there was this guy. So it's really cold. I live in Canada. For those who were curious to know, I live in Canada, and it's really cold right now. It's winter cold. And I was coming, so I get off the bus, and I have to walk through, like, the neighborhood to go up to my street, and usually I take, like, a weird route, so I'm really moody with my routes and how I get to my house. Like, I take side streets, and then I take the main street, and then back to the side streets, and so it's really weird that somebody would have the same routes that I take. But last night, I was walking, and there was this guy. So I was going, let's say, I was going north, and this guy was trying to cross the street to go to the other side. Like, he was crossing me like an X, almost. And so he sees me, and he stops. It was late. It was, like 6 o'clock, but it's already dark, really dark at this time, because we already changed the time. And he stops there. He's, like, walking super slow with, like, just a hoodie, which is super cold. Why are you just wearing a hoodie? And with this, like, blue cooler in his hand. And he's walking super slow. And he stops right in the corner. And I keep walking. And I turn around suddenly. And this guy had turned around from the direction that he was going. And he was right behind me now. I'm like, what the fuck? So I keep walking up the street. I turn up to go up to my street. And there's a big fence there. So I hid behind a van. Because I was like, I just want to confirm that this guy's following me. Because no way he's taking the same route as me. Nobody... Like, it's really rare that somebody would. And I hid behind a van, and I didn't see him cross the street, so I'm like, that's so weird. So I come out of behind the van, and I keep walking up my street, and he's right behind me with the same thing. He's walking super slow with this cooler in his hand and just this hoodie on. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I started walking super fast. I turned onto my street. I got into my house. I turned off all of the lights, and I, like, through a crack in the door. I was waiting to see if he was coming up the street. And he did. And he actually stood right in the corner, because I am 3 houses away from the right of the corner of my street. And he stood there, like, looking, because I don't think he didn't see me, because he was walking so slow, and I started almost running after. And I looked through the crack of my door, like, with all the lights off. And this guy stood up in the corner, looked a bunch of ways, like, trying to see which way I went. He turned around and went back down the street again.
Dude.
He was following me, and I almost lost it. Like, I literally didn't turn on my lights. I went up the stairs with my lights off, because I'm like, I'm not turning on the lights.
I wonder what he was carrying in the cooler.
Yeah, I thought about it too. What if it was like a human part, like a hand or something?
I was gonna say a heart.
Or a heart.
But okay. I was gonna... maybe he wanted, like, to kidnap you and harvest your organs for the black market. No? Okay. No?
Anyways.
Okay. Anyway. Wanted to shout out. We're not sure yet because they gave us a great shout out and it was so exciting to hear it.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, did I tell you? I remember our first episode, I said that I was following them on Twitter as a reminder to listen to them. And then after that, I started listening to them.
Listening to them.
And now they're my new obsession. So you guys rock. You guys are awesome. And thank you for giving us a shout out.
Yay! And they have a new episode out. The one called Balloon Boy. It's a hilarious story. To me, it's like a huge hoax, but it's hilarious to me. Okay. Anyway, on to today's subject.
Yes.
Which is, you probably know because you read the description, the Westboro Baptist Church.
That fun group of people.
Yes. Or as they call the most hated family in America. I would say the world.
The world. Yeah.
The world. Yeah. Okay, so the Westboro Baptist Church was founded by Fred Phelps.
Mm-hmm.
Fred Phelps was born in 1929 in Mississippi, and in 1954 he graduated as a lawyer, as a civil rights attorney, and he would defend Black people on campus. Like, he would join boycotts and everything for African Americans, which is pretty weird considering what they became.
You know what? Somebody who does that for another group of people, I find it hard to believe. How is he so hateful after this? Like, how did he turn onto this? How did he turn into this person who says God hates everybody, so we hate everybody?
Yeah. Well, in 1977, Fred was disbarred because he committed perjury, and that is that he lied under oath in court, right? And that's when shit went down, you know?
So
everything started.
I have a question. Did they say, like, were you able to find out if what it was, like, what did he lie about and where and when and how?
No.
So they didn't say why. Okay.
No, but it's public record, so yeah. Okay, Fred Phelps started the Westboro Baptist Church after moving to Topeka, Kansas, with his 13 children and his wife.
I'm guessing they didn't believe in birth control either.
Yeah. Her name is Margie Sims. Now they live in Topeka, Kansas, and that's where they live, like, right now. That's where you can find them, by the way.
Is Brett Phelps? Is Fred Phelps still alive?
No, he died. Wait, I'm getting to that. Okay, so Fred Phelps had 13 kids, of which there's like, I don't know the names of all of them, but the most famous ones are Tim Phelps, Shirley Phelps, and what's his name? Nathan, right?
Yes. So isn't he the one that...
Yes, Nathan. Yeah.
Okay.
So after Fred Phelps died, I think it was 2014, his daughter Shirley became the leader of the church. And it's that lady that has, like, curly, ugly hair who...
She's a witch.
Yeah.
She looks like a witch.
She looks like a witch, basically, yeah.
No, actually, no. Witches are cool. She's just a hag. I don't know what else to say.
Okay, a hag.
That works.
Okay, so basically the Westboro Baptist Church is an old school primitive Baptist church. I don't know what that means, but Fred Phelps said that he didn't like the way religion was going, and so he wanted something primitive. I think it was, like, strictly, like, very literal. Like, they took the Bible literally, which is a big mistake. The first service was in 1955. And the first picketing, if you don't know what picketing is protests and stuff like that, was in 1991 in Gage Park. And they said it was a, quote, a den of anonymous homosexual activity, end quote. What they thought is that in this park, they had, like, a public bathroom, and they thought that gay people would kidnap children and go rape them in the bathroom. I don't know.
How did they get to that conclusion from... Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Sometimes, okay, just
Yeah.
keep going.
And they would have picnics there day and night. And they would, like, line up the trucks at night and have the lights on. They would just stay there until, like, something happened, which nothing happened. The members of the church are all family members. There's not, like, you can't join the church. Everybody is related or they marry into the family. I don't know. It sounds like incest to me, but okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
listen, with 13 children.
Yeah. Nathan Phelps, who was the son of Fred Phelps, left in 1976. He left the church, and now he's an atheist, and he represents LGBTQ, and he's an activist and stuff like that. Megan Phelps Robert and Grace Phelps Robert, who are the daughters of Shirley. If you look up the name Megan Phelps in YouTube, you'll find her TED Talk, which is really good.
It's so good. I watched it. I didn't watch the entire thing, but honestly, she's just so calm and so articulate the way that she talks.
Yeah.
And she's like, I love it because the message is basically saying that's when, like, she was basically illuminated into, like, it's not all hate.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people who, how is it that she's coming from a family of such hate, and then she was welcomed into this community of, even if they were hateful towards them, they still treated them like human beings and they didn't hate on them.
Right.
So I don't know. I love it. You should look it up, whoever is listening.
And well, Megan and Grace, who are the daughters of Shirley, left in 2012. According to Nathan, Fred Phelps abused and beat his children. And his children earned the majority of the family's income selling candy door to door. That's how they made money.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like I said, the church is only family, and there's one family who's not related by blood who are part of the church. And basically it's because the guy's name of the family, like the head of the family, in air quotes, his name is Steve Drain. And he did a documentary on Fred Phelps.
Okay.
And they got along, I guess. I don't know. And this guy was from Florida, and he ended up moving to Kansas with his wife and 2 daughters to join the church. And they were the only family allowed that was not blood related to join the church, right?
Right.
Big mistake. And
Yep.
a few years later, Lauren Drain left the church. She wrote a book called Banished, and what the family did to her was they banished her from the church, left her in a motel, gave her 3 days pay of, like they paid for the motel for 3 days, and said, okay, do what you want.
Well, that's a little... But you know what? At the same time, it's like, okay, at least they paid 3 days of a motel for her and then figure it out on your own.
And they said...
They give her 3 days leeway. They're not that bad.
And they said that because the Drain family was the one that paid for the motel, but when the Phelps family knew, they got, like, really mad. Like, that whore doesn't deserve it and stuff like that. Okay, so this church is very hateful. They hate, and I say hate, like, in the strongest sense because it's true.
The word, yeah.
They hate gay people. Well, the whole LGBTQ community. Yeah, community. They hate soldiers. They hate... I'm just gonna... Jews. Yeah, people. They hate people from other religions. I'm just gonna read you what some of their sign says, because they do a lot of picketing at funerals and concerts and everywhere. And so the signs say this, and I'm warning you, I don't speak this way. This is like literally what the signs say. Okay?
Yes, just a warning.
Yeah.
Disclaimer.
Fags doom the nation. America is doomed. God hates fags. Soldiers die. God laughs. And thank God for 9/11. Yeah. And
I hate it.
yeah, and apart from picketing, a way they make themselves known is by using merch. Literal merch. And also they make song parodies, which is what we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
So for example, they have a few titles are Kill the Jews, which is a parody of Come Together. How? I don't know. Love and Make a Lie, parody of Love the Way You Lie by Eminem and Rihanna. and God Will Rock You. Parody of We Will Rock You by Queen. Now, since we're in
Lord,
we're in those times where, you know, Bohemian Rhapsody just came out, I'm just gonna read some lyrics here. So this is the melody of We Will Rock You, right? So it's, buddy, you're a boy getting raised wrong, mangling the word, gonna be a fag star someday. You got dong on your face, you big disgrace, part of your sin, God'll lay you to waste. God will rock you. God will rock you. Then,
what is wrong with these people?
Soldier, you're a dark hard heart, shouting in the street, gonna murder some kids today. You got blood on your face, you big disgrace, waving bloody flags all over the place. Just to give you a little sample of what's happening. Then the one with Rihanna and Eminem, the Love the Way You Lie, is, God's gonna stand there and watch you burn, but that's alright because you wouldn't heed his word. He's gonna stand there, won't hear you cry. That's alright because you love and make a lie. You love and make a lie.
What?
Yeah. All this you can find on their YouTube account if you're interested.
Please do not like and subscribe.
Please do not like and subscribe. Okay. That's so disturbing to me.
That is
it's so hateful.
This is what I was telling you. So they say that a lot, that God hates basically everybody except for them. I was telling you this before we started recording, and if that were the case, let's say on the 1% chance that they are right, that God hates everybody, wouldn't God hate them as well just for being human beings?
Probably.
If they were to follow the, as they call them, the scriptures, if they were to follow the Bible, like word by word, and follow exactly what the Bible means, which a lot of they're metaphors, they're not exactly what they mean. But if they were to follow the Bible word by word, God would hate the human race in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hate everybody, God hates everybody, they say that God hates everybody, God hates them too then. I don't understand, like, how would that make sense? They make me so mad.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
you know.
They say that Steve Drain, that guy with the family that's not related by blood, is going to be the successor to Fred in the moment where they have to choose, like, a new leader. Because Shirley, like, took over, but she's not, like, officially the leader. So they say that Steve Drain will do it. And Lauren Drain, the one who wrote the book, Banished, she said something that was a bit controversial. She said that Fred Phelps was a self-hating gay. That Fred Phelps was gay and that he hated it, and so he started, like, to hate, you know, homosexual people.
Yeah.
Which actually makes a lot of sense, in my opinion.
That will make so much sense.
Yeah. Okay, so some facts. Kids as young as 5 years old that are part of the Westboro Baptist Church have to picket and protest. They're obligated to do it. If somebody did something wrong inside the church would isolate them completely. They wouldn't kick them out.
They're shunned.
But they wouldn't kick them out. No, but if they did something wrong, like, within the church, not with the intention of leaving, just, like, they made a mistake, they would be completely isolated. Like, people wouldn't talk to them.
So they give them the
silent treatment.
The silent treatment? Yeah. What are you, 5 years old?
Apparently.
Apparently they are.
Okay, so if anybody acted... Lauren Drain said this, and I thought it was really, really powerful. They were taught to hate. Okay? If anyone acted nice to them, the church said that they were probably lying to them, and they were taught that being hated was something good.
What?
Yeah. So if you were nice to somebody in the church, they automatically thought you were lying to them, basically. They lived around hate. They live around hate since birth, basically.
That's so sad.
It's sad, right?
It is.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't know what's gonna happen in the future with this church. Oh, and here's another interesting fact. The church travels constantly around the United States to picket funerals and concerts and, you know, everything.
Just
And
whatever they cross paths with.
yeah, and their expenses are $200,000 annually. $200,000. And how do they get the money?
I was just gonna ask.
How do they get the money? They get the money from their congregation, right? People donate.
Yeah.
And they constantly sue the city.
Oh my god.
Ale just,
biggest face palm ever.
Yeah, Ale just face palm like really loud.
Really hard.
Yeah. They constantly sue the city of Topeka. So they've gotten like $15,000, $20,000 from the city. Man, if I were mayor of that city, I would just eliminate them.
So, okay, one lawsuit, let alone two lawsuits, is already too much to sue the city, the same city over and over.
Yeah.
At this point, dudes, they're just scamming you.
Yeah.
They're scamming the city into giving them money. What?
Yeah, and think about it. The expenses are $200,000 annually. How much money, are they suing the city for?
What? And for what?
To picket.
What? Okay.
For propaganda.
Oh my god. They make me so upset.
Yeah. They're, the worst, man. Do you remember Pope Benedict? The one before this Pope? The one that was kind of scary looking?
The guy with the big black eye bags?
Yeah. The one that looked like... Yeah, him. They said Obama is the Antichrist along with Satan, and Pope Benedict is the false prophet of Revelation.
Right.
Yeah, totally agree, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the city.
Oh my god. It's crazy. It's crazy.
They're a sad group of people. They make me upset, but at the same time, I'm just sad that they have so much hate in them.
Yeah. And I was telling you before, what's it called? That house? The house? Okay, so there's a house across the Westboro Baptist Church house, because it's a house, that's called the Equality House. And what it is the Equality House is a rainbow-colored house situated across the street from the Westboro Baptist Church. The house was purchased by Aaron Jackson, the founder of a non-profit organization, Planting Peace, after he saw, that it was on sale. Yeah. And what they do is just that they welcome people from the community.
Yeah.
And they show a lot of love. And I think it's awesome. And now they bought the house next door, and they have the transgender house, and now they have the house painted the transgender colors. And I think it's awesome.
That is awesome. How do you fight hate with love?
Yeah.
And acceptance.
Yeah.
And magic.
And how they got the money was crowdfunding.
Because the gays are magical. They're like unicorns.
Yeah, they are.
To say that.
They are. I love gay people.
Yeah, everybody. That whole community is just magical.
Yeah. And they bought the house, the transgender house. They bought it from crowdfunding. And it raised, the campaign raised $2,000 in 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Now, I read a thing that said that Donald Trump, as always, we come back to Donald Trump. He has spoken he hates the Westboro Baptist Church. And the Ku Klux Klan also has spoken that they hate the Westboro Baptist Church. And I'm like, okay, when the Ku Klux Klan
is hating
on you, you're doing something wrong. Okay? That's my opinion.
Definitely.
Because, dude.
That's no.
No, man. Okay, and what we were talking about earlier is the Westboro Baptist Church a cult? Debate.
I think yes. Okay, but okay.
You think it is? Why?
It's just certain practices and the fact that, for example, they're so exclusive. Aaron, or quote, Aaron, yeah, I said it right. They're so exclusive, it's just within the one family, and they have really, it's not weird, it's just extreme practices and rules. And the fact that if you leave, you're not allowed back in and you're vanished. If you do something wrong, they won't talk to you. And it's basically unorganized. I do think that it has some tendencies to be a cult. It's not as big to be a cult though, but also how big, and the definition of a cult, how big does it say it has to be?
It says, I'm reading the definition of cult, okay?
Yeah.
So it says, a system of religious veneration and devotion directed towards a particular figure or object. Okay, check.
God.
A relatively
Check.
small group of people having religious beliefs or practices regarded by others as strange or as imposing excessive control over members. I think that's a check.
Check. That's a huge check, just letting you know.
Yeah. Yeah, the other ones are like fashion cults.
Okay.
But I think, man, I don't know. I think they could be a cult. But I think there's also a thin line, like I was telling you earlier. There's a thin line between organized religion and cults.
Yeah. But, this is the way that I see it. So, there is just one family. Yes, they do have, if you read the definition, they're basically the definition of a cult. But at the same time, I don't consider them a religion. I don't consider them, I think they are a cult. But I don't know. It's just weird to explain.
It's just that they don't have a defined religion. They're just Christians who are hateful. Right? They're just Christians who are like exaggerating stuff. You know?
Because if you think about it, at the end of the day, then if there's a definition of a cult for example, loving, what does it say? What were you reading at the beginning? It's like that we checked both.
Oh.
At the end of the day, every religion will be a cult.
Yeah, a system of religious veneration or devotion directed towards a particular figure or object.
Exactly. Yeah. So then every religion, then Catholicism will be a cult, then like Mormons will be part of a cult. Like,
yeah. But like, for example, there's certain things that a cult has to have, in my opinion, from what I've read.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for example, let's take Jonestown. Mm-hmm. Jim Jones was a very charismatic leader, which is why people followed him. But they all went to him because of God. Like, that was the ultimate, like, devotion was to God.
Right.
I don't think the Westboro Baptist Church has a defined leader.
Okay. And
I think that it's important to institute a cult to have like not a religious leader, but like a very defined leader.
Right.
And the other thing is that you have to take away individuality in a cult. Mm-hmm. So, for example, let's take Scientology. That is like the most successful cult ever. They have names.
That is still active.
People, They have names for certain things that only they know.
Right.
For example, I'm giving an example. I don't remember the name, but for example, a curtain. To you, a curtain is the same thing that a curtain is to me. But they have a different name for it. So that what it does is like, okay, you're part of it, like an exclusive thing.
Right.
And the other one is...
So only you would know if you were part of that. You would know only if you were part of that. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah. And the other one is excessive control over its members.
Right.
Which I think in part it does have, but I don't see them like... Man, I don't know. I think it's just an exaggeration of religion. An excessive hate group.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's true, I guess.
Man, I don't know.
It's just... There's just a bunch of... They're a group of hateful Christians. I think that's what it is.
Mm.
Because at the end of the day, it all comes from one family.
Yeah. See, that's the problem. Man, I don't know.
So these are kids that were taught to hate by their parents.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was, let's say, a person that had 2 kids instead of 13, it wouldn't have been this big of a... Because, okay, there are 40 people right now. I know that there were more back in the day. Right now, there are 40 people left. That's still a big amount of people to be hateful towards, like that hateful towards so many different groups and religions.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot, but it's still not enough to like be a cult. Like, let's say if this guy and his wife only had 2 kids, it wouldn't have been this big.
That's true.
right?
Yeah.
But it just happened that they had 13 because they don't know how to use a freaking... Okay, I'm not going to get into that. They don't know how to use a freaking condom. They probably don't believe in them. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That they... If it was, let's say, they had 2 instead of 13 kids, it wouldn't have even been this big because at the end of the day, it's just one family.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm. That reminds me of the what's it called? The Children of God cult.
Okay.
That they had a ton of members, like a few years after they were established. They had like a ton of members. But it was because everybody was sleeping with everybody. Nobody was using birth control. And the majority of the members were newborn babies. That's
why they were called the Children of God.
Yeah. Now they're just called the Family and they all live in Chile, but...
Isn't there a movie called The Family? And it's like...
I don't know. Probably.
It sounds familiar. It's a scary movie called The Family thing.
Probably.
I'm gonna look this up after.
And, yeah. That's the Westboro Baptist Church.
Wow.
Fucking scumbags.
I hate them so much. They make me so upset. But you know what? I take a breath and I'm like, I'm surrounded by non-hateful people and I'm glad that they live far away from me.
Yeah.
And that it is trying to fight them with love. And hopefully a couple years from now, they'll be 30. And then a couple years from then, there'll be dead. 20 of them. They're all gonna die.
Oh,
and you know what?
Do you want to know good...
I hope they rest in peace, motherfuckers.
Do you want to know good news for you?
Yes.
They're banned from Canada.
Wow!
Go Canada.
You should have seen my leg went up.
Go Canada.
Go Canada. Canada rocks. Everybody, actually not everybody should move here. Donald Trump can stay over there.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I don't think he likes Canada, and I don't think Canada likes him either, so we're fine.
That's true.
It's the same with the Westboro Baptist Church.
I keep hearing you say the Whisper Baptist Church.
The Westboro
Baptist Church, yeah.
Oh, who the fuck cares?
Yeah, so that's the story of those fuckers. Man, yeah, I really hope that they get to heaven. I don't believe in heaven or hell, okay? I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying.
I hope they get to heaven.
Shunt.
And God is like, no. And then just sends them to hell.
And then the devil is like, no. Only cool people allowed here.
Yeah. Man,
you bunch of nerds.
Those parody songs are like the cringiest shit you've ever heard. There's one where it's a rap song, but I don't know what song it is. It's an old one. And one of the girls that, like, I think it's one of Shirley's daughters, I think she's rapping it, and it's just like the most horrible thing. Oh my god, it's disgusting. And if you're interested in learning more, you can look up the documentary called The Most Hated Family in America, or and the dogs are here. You can look up The Most Hated Family in America, and there's also the second part, which is kind of funny. It's a British documentary, but it's really good.
Ooh.
Yep. And we have to end this because I have to go have lunch.
Nice. I have to go take a shower because my hair is so dirty. I don't know why I let you all know that, but now you know.
Thank you for telling us. We appreciate it.
I'm all about the openness, and I don't fucking know.
Okay, guys, thanks so much for listening. Remember to follow us on Undercover Coven everywhere.
On Twitter.
Everywhere.
On Twitter and on Instagram. We as you guys give a like, a follow, and we reply super fast. So
yes,
go ahead and give us a like and a follow and subscribe and
rate, review, subscribe, and everything. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that thing button.
Just hit it all.
Hit it all. Just like smack your phone. Okay.
Click, 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 click. Or touch. I don't know. Sorry.
We're very tired.
You know what? We were tired last time too, and it was 1 a.m, and now it's the middle of the day, and we're tired again. So we're just always tired.
Yeah.
Just
life is hard.
This is just a disclaimer for the future.
Yeah, life's hard.
Life is hard.
I love how
tired.
we both said that, and we were just like looking at the horizon. Like, yeah.
Life is hard.
Anyway, remember to send us comments, suggestions, whatever you want. An undercover coven podcast at gmail.com. And yeah, we will talk to you next time with something fun, like the Westboro Baptist Church. Woo!
Woohoo! Bye!
Bye! I just remembered we didn't introduce ourselves. Anyway, I'm Paola Latale. Bye!
Bye!